I have a theory on what makes it difficult for people to stop eating certain foods and also sometimes to stop doing things that are harmful to them, like alcohol or other things. This is more about those kind of things. Here's my theory, and this is my offer to any of you who want to try it. Okay, my theory is that most people eat food, and I used to, that feeds fungus. Fungus is necessary in some places, but we don't need an overgrowth of fungus. Fungus, when it overtakes our microbiome in our skin or in our gut or in our eyes or in our mouth, then you can have, real problems. Fungus is a parasite. Parasites want to live. Fungus makes people crave certain foods that will feed it. So there's two things to do for fungus. One is you want to kill it with doing antifungal medicine or supplements, and two, you want to starve it. Because every time somebody eats something that has fungus, it's going to make the fungus grow more, and then that fungal desire for its own life to live, but in your body in a way that hurts your body, it's going to make that fungus try to make you eat something, either that or something else that will feed it more. And that fungus, I think, is a big part of alcoholic addiction, because alcohol feeds fungus. It's also a big part of people who have sugar addiction, because sugar feeds fungus. Grain addiction, grains feed fungus. Processed food addiction, because most processed food is a lot of toxins, and fungus likes toxins. So it's really interesting. And then I'm talking about this because I interviewed a guy named Doug Kaufman. He has a website called Know the Cause, K-N-O-W, The Cause. I interviewed him, and because of that, before I interviewed him, I started trying his antifungal diet. I was already eating something called paleo, which is basically vegetables, nuts, not all nuts, but some nuts, seeds, and protein. So I was doing that, and I really liked how it affected me. I slept better. I have more energy. I think better. My lung capacity has increased. Lots of good things. And my skin got better. So I really like what he was saying. And so then I started looking at it, and I realized that if somebody is trying to, let's say they're trying to get off grains or trying to get off alcohol, if they get off the grains, but then they have a sip or two of alcohol, or a glass or 3 or 10 or whatever they have, they're going to feed the fungus through the alcohol. If they're trying to get off alcohol and they're eating grains or sugar, they're going to feed the fungus that craves the alcohol and the grains and the sugar, because the fungus, which is a parasite, wants to live. It wants to take over your body, and it wants to it wants to make you crave these foods that are not for you, they're for the fungus. And the reason I say this is because fungus is all those foods: grains, sugar, alcohol, lots of dairy, any grains, even oatmeal, stuff like that. They all make people crave more of that. And they're all they're all inflammatory. They're all pro-inflammatory foods, basically. So here's my thought of if somebody wants to do a study on this, like more in depth, it'd be fun. But the thought is, if you have something you're trying to quit that you're addicted to, that's a food or a drink, or something else, like a marijuana or something, if you were to starve out the fungus by not giving it any food, and then kill the fungus by taking, let's say, grapefruit seed extract, olive leaf extract, resveratrol, caprylic acid, all the B vitamins, turmeric, cardamom, different things like that, oregano, cilantro, all that stuff. If you were to take that stuff and you do the two things, so one is you starve it out, meaning you don't drink any alcohol, you don't have any sweet fruits, you don't have any grains or dairy or sugar, you really starve it out. the fungus is going to have a die-off, and this is where people get stuck, because the fungus will have a die-off if it's getting starved out and you're taking these antifungal supplements. The fungus is going to go, oh, I'm dying, and then you're going to have all these dead fungus in your body that takes a few days to get out. That's called the Herxheimer effect. And the Herxheimer effect is like you start to make these changes and you don't feel good. You don't feel good because as you're making the changes, you're getting this fungal die-off. So it's actually a good thing that you don't feel good, but it can be a little, it make you tired or make you feel like you've got a flu. It's called the carb flu when you start getting off the carb. So another thing you can do is you can eat healthy fats, butter, olive oil, avocado oil or avocados, coconut, beef tallow, duck fat. Those are fats that are going to feed your brain. Saturated fats. We're always told, you shouldn't eat saturated fats, but it was a lie. So you want, because the other part, the unsaturated are usually, processed. But anyway, so saturated fats. Saturated fats, fungus can't live on fat. Fungus can't live on most of the food that is in the paleo diet. Fungus can be on certain nuts and seeds, so you got to kind of do a little research to see. Fungus can be on peanuts, sunflower seeds, pistachios. It's definitely on corn, and like that. So for me, I haven't had, since I've been doing this, I was eating paleo, so I didn't have that many things to let go of. But once I did let go of, I was letting go of white potatoes because, sometimes they're good, but I don't have them anymore. So I let go of white potatoes. It was last summer I was doing it, and I let go of watermelon. I like watermelon, but I'm not going to eat it. I thought, well, I'll do this for 6 weeks of not eating any fungal feeding food, and I felt so much better that I'm not going back. Because every time you eat any little bit of fungus, you're going to feed it, and it's like you're feeding that monster that makes you think you're craving something, when in fact it's the parasite, it's the fungus that is craving something. So and what else did I give up? I gave up mushrooms. Mushrooms are a fungus. I gave up, I think that was it of the stuff I gave up, because I haven't had sugar in 15 years. I haven't had grains in 13 years. I haven't had most dairy. I've had butter, but I haven't had most dairy in 11 years or something like that. So it's just a thought. Check out and see what happens if you starve the fungus and you kill the fungus with antifungal meds. Because if you do those two things and you really don't feed it, that fungus will die off, and you'll be uncomfortable. It could take anywhere from a few days to a few weeks, and that's okay. That's a sign that you're killing the stuff off. It's leaving your body. It's a good sign, but it doesn't feel good. So be kind to yourself. Drink more water. Go slowly, do this in a slow, gentle way, and let your body come back into a balance where it's not feeding that parasite that mimics cancer, mimics diabetes, mimics Alzheimer's, mimics so many diseases, mimics COVID. Fungus is pretty tricky. It's a pretty tricky little guy. Now, I love fungus. There's fungus among us. I love fungus, but I don't eat it anymore. As best I can. Even I don't eat any seed oils. That's the other thing. Like seed oils, I don't eat canola or vegetable oil or any of those things because it's not made out of vegetable oil. Canola oil or rapeseed, all of those I don't eat it. The only oils I eat are the ones I mentioned before: the olive, avocado, coconut, butter, all that stuff. Beef tallow. So that's my thought. If you're interested in trying it, and you want to, share with me your journey, I'd really like it because it makes you healthier. It makes you think better. You'll feel better, wherever. I never have sinus stuff, but I might have had a little tiny bit. And when I quit eating the fungus food, it's gone. I also had a little tenderness in one tooth, and that went away. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I just changed my diet. And it was, for me, only a little thing. So I didn't get that much fungal die-off. But when I did quit sugar originally and when I quit grains, I did have a couple of weeks of my body going, oh, wow, this is crazy. So if you'll do it easier if you use the antifungal supplements and starve it off. It's so good. It feels so good. And you just feel so good. And I value feeling good in my body more than I value something being, craving. I don't like that feeling of craving anything. I used to drink, I used to take a few drugs here and there, and I don't like that feeling of being beholden to someone. Even coffee. I don't like the feeling of needing something in order to wake up. Like, I'd rather just wake up and use my natural energy that comes up. So I'm very particular. It's something that's kind of specific to me, which is like, I don't like that feeling of being trapped because I have to have something to satisfy a craving. And I really believe that the fungus is the thing that is making us crave things. So the more that you can let it go, the more you can starve it by not eating anything that feeds it, and the more that you can kill it with the antifungal supplements or antifungal foods like oregano and cilantro and parsley and things like that. Meat is antifungal. Some vegetables are, as long as they're not too sweet. Like, I don't eat beets. Just, they're probably okay. I just don't eat them. I think they're too sweet for me. But your taste buds will change too. It's really fascinating. So your taste buds change. Once you go past that thing, your whole microbiome changes. You start feeling better. You think better. You have more energy. Your skin gets better. It's just amazing what happens when you take good care of yourself, when you heal your body, when you go past what the fungus is telling you what to do, and instead listen to that deeper knowing within you that tells you that you can do this, that you can be healthier, that you can be fitter, that you can be happier, that you can feel better, you can think better, and you can be at a better weight. It's so fascinating, this whole fungal connection. And so if you want to try it, let me know.